Good evening and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now, few people like to be stuck behind a desk every day working and sometimes look for a bit of fun and excitement in their lives. So we're going to be looking at extreme sports today. And my guests tonight are Martin Harris of the London Parachute School. And we're also going to see what happened when I did a few extreme sports myself, including skydiving, with fellow presenters Joanna and Barbara. So if you'd like to participate in the show at all, you can give us a call on 020 7686 6300. What have you done? Any extreme sports? What was it like? What did you do? You can also email on chris@chrissybshow.tv. But first, before we introduce our guest Martin Harris, let's take a look at his video. Can I have the gentleman who runs this school with me? And that's Martin Harris. Good evening, Martin.
Good evening, Chrissy. How are you doing?
That looks so scary.
No, it's not scary at all. It's easy.
How did you get into all of that?
Honest answer?
Yeah.
24 years ago, a Friday evening in a pub with a very drunk friend who went, I'm going skydiving tomorrow. You want to come?
Oh, gosh. Joking.
I'm not joking.
Were you drunk at the time?
I may have had a few.
You weren't drunk when you went, were you?
No, I wasn't drunk when I went. I was sober well, certainly sober by the time the course started. Anyway, it woke me up. And 24 years later, here I am. I now own the school that I started training at.
Well, what was it you loved about it? Did you like the first jump? Did you think this is what I want to do all the time, or was it like, yeah, it was great, I'd come and do it again? How did it develop?
First jump, you don't know what to expect. You've got absolutely no idea whatsoever. We call it adrenaline overload. Your mind just cannot take it in. It's over so fast.
Really?
Second jump is a little bit different. Second jump, you know what's going to happen. And consequently, it's worse than the first one. First one's easy. Second one's a bit more difficult. Third one, take to it like a duck to water. Okay,
now this isn't the only thing you do, is it? Because you were telling me earlier you also work as well.
I also run an IT company.
IT company.
So I work.
How do you compare like the two?
Both can be as stressful as each other sometimes, let me tell you. The IT company pays the bills. The skydiving, it's a bit of fun. You know, we run weekends only at LPS, and we do a lot of charity skydives. It allows me to keep skydiving, and because it becomes a lifestyle. Yeah. I spend most of my weekends with my friends playing in the sky.
So how often do you actually jump or spend in the sky?
Well, I mean, most I've done in a day is 13. Least I've done in a day is 0. But that's generally because I'm so busy running around making sure everybody else jumps.
Okay. So tell you, it's not the only extreme. Would you call it an extreme sport?
It's not
for you, it's
sport.
not. For you,
no,
it's not.
It's not an extreme sport at all. Skydiving.
My producer saying it is an extreme sport. So there, Joanna said it is, so it must
Got
be.
news for Joanna. It's a sport with risk.
Yeah.
Scuba diving is a sport with risk, but people don't think scuba diving is an extreme sport. You've got more risk in the last 10 metres of scuba diving than you have doing a skydive.
Gosh. And you were saying it's even safer than horse riding.
Yeah, horse riding is the most dangerous sport in the country. And more people are injured, and some quite severely, riding a horse each weekend than are injured a year in skydiving in the UK. Yeah. We've got the safest regulations in the world for it. In fact, some say too many regulations, but that's another story.
Now, you are a bit of a thrill seeker, aren't you? Because it's not the only thing that you've done before. You've done on some other sort of dangerous sports.
I still snowboard like crazy. In fact, I'm off in January to France for 10 days.
You do snowboarding?
Snowboarding, yeah. Love it. So does the wife. Taking the little
that's the thing. Your wife also works at the school as well.
We met skydiving. She was a first-time
tell us about that. I like a love story. Tell me. Sorry, I know it was not part of the programme, but go on. I like that.
If everyone can remember the foot and mouth epidemic.
That doesn't sound very romantic.
About 12 years ago. Yeah. She was on one of our first jump courses, and should we say she's a little feisty? And I'm not one for holding back either. And the two of us just sort of, not so much clicked as chewed each other out all day long. And we decided to get in touch again. Mutually, we met through a common friend. And
did you get married in the sky?
No, we got married in Canada on top of a hotel in Whistler, in the snow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, so.
Okay, so you work together. So she obviously like agrees with all the other extreme sports that you do.
She works for another IT company in the antivirus industry. I run my own IT company, and she works with me at the parachute school. And she comes on holiday with me skydiving, and holiday with me snowboarding and scuba diving. And
sorry, I've gone off the subject, haven't I? So let me get back to the skydiving. So you've done snowboarding. What else have you done?
Scuba diving, motor racing, skydiving. I'll try anything that looks like it's a bit of fun. Bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. Once, how did that compare to skydiving?
It's nothing like it.
No.
A bungee jump is a bungee jump is a bungee jump. It's like a roller coaster. Skydiving, you get to go out and play with your friends. Yeah. You know, you've got, you know,
in the air. How many feet up?
10,000 feet minimum. 2 miles straight down.
All right, let me just run these by you, because these are some extreme sports that people do around the world. And the first one is volcano boarding. Now, you told me earlier that you would actually do...
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
A live volcano.
Why not?
Okay, so why not? Because it might erupt. That's why not. And you'll be... I suppose maybe you'll go a bit faster than the lava.
You would hope so.
So these people raced down an active 2,380-foot volcano at speeds of 50 miles per hour with only a board for protection, and is considered by many thrill-seeking sports fanatics as the coolest sport around. Now, they do this in Nicaragua. And since its creation in 2005, they actually wear jumpsuits and they wear knee pads and helmets, if that helps at all. But then they said it's attracted more than 10,000 participants. 10,001?
When are you going?
Not me, no.
Come on, let's go together.
No, I'm not going. Train surfing. Now this one's really crazy. Would you do that?
Midwest America, perhaps.
This is South Africa.
Well, yeah, it's open spaces there. There's not too many bridges or signals. It's got possibilities.
It says, usually a legal sport, train surfing involves riders climbing or surfing on the outside of a moving train or subway. The practice is a serious issue in South Africa where many young people have been killed or injured.
Because they fall off.
Well, yeah. They're not strapped on, are they?
So don't fall off.
Let's see what else it says here. Number 3, now this one is ridiculous. Now, it is bungee jumping, but it's called crocodile bungee jumping because these crazy people jump into a river, they bungee jump into a river full of crocodiles, and I don't know what would possess anyone to do that unless they really want to commit suicide.
Oh, run fast enough, you'll get across the crocodiles.
We've got a couple more here. Let's see, air kicking. Don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, tell me more.
Right. In this strange extreme sport, a human catapult launches individuals over 26 feet in the air into a swimming pool. Here goes the picture. Swimming pool or foam pit. Air kick works propelling participants through the air in a pre-calculated parabolic trajectory using a special combination of air pressure and water recoil technology. That one I might do, because at least you go into water.
Well, or a foam pit. Yeah, why
or a
not?
foam pit. So maybe that one I would try.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
And finally, we have zorbing. Do you know what zorbing is?
Yeah, it's those big inflatable balls. I've done that.
Have you? What's it like? Do you actually run with it, or do you actually stay in one place?
Well, you can be harnessed into them, or you can put your feet in foot straps and hold on with hand straps, and that's the one I did down a hill. And yeah, don't have a big breakfast beforehand.
All right, so Martin, before we continue talking about the skydiving, actually I did a bit of skydiving myself. I didn't tell you guys earlier. Well, actually it's been all over my Facebook and Twitter, but we're going to be watching that video later on. But first, let's have a look at some racing that we did with the girls. Not this.
Ready, go!
Barbara crashed into me as soon as we started. Who was that? You crashed into me before, matey. I'm going the wrong way. No.
Really? I know it's winning. Oh, I know, but not. I can't believe Barbara won. And you pushed me out of the way.
Barbara cheated because she tried to get me out of the. Tried to make me crash as soon as we started, and she's claiming to be winner, but I'm the real winner here, Barbara.
Yeah, so you have got a bit of a way to go before you get on our leaderboard over here.
Okay.
Well
Okay.
done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm sorry, but Barbara did cheat in the very first lap. But anyway, we won't go there.
No, I want to know how come you were going the wrong
Because
way.
she crashed into me, and then I got disorientated and I ended up racing up the wrong way around the track, so I didn't know. So it was her fault. But let's not talk about that anymore.
Okay.
Let's go back to the skydiving. Now, some people say that, you know, it's not something that they would do because of the expense. But you're actually saying it's not that expensive to do skydiving.
It's not an expensive sport
Tell
at
me
all.
about that.
I mean, give you an idea, we organise charity skydives across the UK. Jumpers who've jumped through us this year have raised over £750,000 for charity.
Wow.
At a cost of from £230 to £290 each for a tandem.
Gosh.
Round London, it's about £230. When you get out into the outlying areas, cost of bringing staff in does bump it up a bit. But to learn to skydive, £2,000.
But then,
Done,
like, when you're
finished.
experienced, when you're trained,
£20 a jump.
20 quid. That's nothing.
It is nothing when you
Yeah.
consider what some people spend on a round of golf.
Yeah.
For example, you'll spend more in the 19th than you would on the skydiving.
Yeah, wow. Okay, Martin, you're going to stay with us. So we're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to be showing a few more videos of things that we did as well. So we can get your comments on your expert opinion. So let's go to this break and join us after this. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. We're speaking about what people do for excitement, including extreme sports. And I still have Martin with me here. So, Martin, why do people do extreme sports? What goes through their head, do you think?
Well, probably the easiest way to describe it is one of the, how shall I put this? Older ladies who did a tandem skydive this year actually sent us through a card to say thank you. But the front of the card said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And I think that's really true, if you think about
That's
it.
such a good quote.
Yeah, it's
We'll
phenomenal.
have to Facebook that.
But it is a phenomenal
Life begins at the end
description.
of your comfort zone.
You
That's
know.
so true.
You're
Yeah.
there, you're happy in your nice little warm bubble, but life is passing you by. Get out there, do it,
something
try it.
crazy.
Why not? What have you got to lose?
Okay, I won't answer that question. Talking about danger, tell us about how dangerous these things are.
You have to rate it. I mean, probably the simplest way to put it is the insurance companies place skydiving below crown bowls in the level of
Listen.
danger for accidents
Serious.
involved. I am absolutely 100% serious. Crown bowls is more dangerous for insurance companies
How
than
can
skydiving.
you get hurt doing that?
Ever been bowling? Ever dropped a bowling ball on your foot?
Oh,
It
okay, all right.
hurts, just a tad.
Yeah.
But it's not a sport which is dangerous. It really isn't dangerous. Every conceivable risk has been looked at, dealt with. The equipment we use costs £15,000 upwards just to harness somebody to the front of you. And in that, there's £1,000 worth of equipment which measures your airspeed and the altitude you're at. And if you don't do it, it deploys a reserve parachute for you. So,
Right.
you know,
That's sounding quite good.
yeah, it's perfect.
I'm warming up to the
Especially
idea
seeing
now.
as you're going to be doing it, remember?
Anyway, we'll get back to that later. Martin, we've got another video of something that we did at this place called Body Flight. Take a look at this.
Welcome to the Weight Loss Flow Rider. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the flow rider, including some important safety information. Then, I'm going to show you how to ride. Don't get too hard on yourself if it takes a couple of runs before you feel comfortable. When you fall,
All right, so we're just about to put these lovely things on and we're going to go flow riding. Okay, so we're in our very uncomfortable wetsuits right now and we're ready to go to the flow rider to pretend to be able to surf, which we can't do. You're not looking forward to it.
I'm scared of anything to do with water and rides.
Joanna, what did you think?
I'm glad that I managed to stand up for 1 second.
Yeah, it was really good. I really didn't manage the surfing thing because my balance isn't very good, but the other stuff I really enjoyed it. But it's really good though, isn't it? It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's not as easy as it looks. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of fun.
Look at our knees.
We're all red. I agree with Joanna, it's not as easy as it looks. It's very, very difficult, but it's really, I loved it. That was my favourite thing. And you've done that as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
We know Paul and the Body Flight crew very,
Yeah.
very well. We do a lot of stuff there. Our Christmas party 2 years ago was the Flow Rider and something that we'll come on to later, I hope.
Okay.
And
Are you any good at that? Can you balance?
yeah, I can do that.
Are you serious? You can just
Yeah.
do everything. Not fair. And if I hadn't had enough practice, I'd be able to stand up as well.
Yeah, of course.
Now, something that you're a bit more familiar is obviously very familiar with, is the skydiving, which I tried as well. So let's take a look at this next video. It was scary, very, very scary. We are just about to go skydiving, and I know I posted on my Facebook page and on Twitter that I was going to go skydiving. But you didn't really think I was going to jump out of a plane, did you? Nope, I've actually cheated. We're going to be doing simulated skydiving. And our instructor over here, what's your name again, Sarah? Jay's going to be teaching us what to do.
Freestyler, rock the microphone, carry on with the freestyler. I got the throw on and go on, you know I got to flow on. Select us on the radio, play us, cause we're friendly for ozone. But that's not us, so hold on. Tight as I rock the mic, right? Oh, excuse me, pardon, that's a synchronizer with the analyzer. Coming vibes the session, let there be a less impression. You carry protection, now with your heart go on, like Celine Dion. Come a chameleon, yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone, yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone, yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone, yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone. Styles, stilos, we bring many kilos, so you can pack those from the burials. Ambitious, nutritious, delicious delivery is ambitious. Just tell us we deliver anything from acapellas to propellers. Suckers get jealous, but they're so like marshmallows. You know they can handle us like them pay us dollars. Yeah, we come scandalous, so who the fuck is sellers? Ship them back in the palace. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone. Yeah, straight from the top of a dome. As the rock the microphone.
I don't even know what to say. It's such a cool experience to come and do. It's a little bit scary. You really do have to trust the instructor and listen to them. I can't hear very well because I've got earplugs in, but it's really, really good. Very, very windy. Let's go and see what the others think.
That was really, really good. I was just about to, have fun, and then the flight time is over.
Yeah, it was really cool. I loved it. Much better than
It's really good, yeah.
It's fun.
Press it. Super press it.
Yeah, you don't look too good afterwards with your hair all over the place. So well, you have to worry about that, Martin, do you?
I really don't have to worry about that.
Okay, but anyway, for your chance to win a package for 2 people for 2 flights each at Body Flight, do send an email to me, chris@chrissybshow.tv. That's chris@chrissybshow.tv. It's a fabulous prize. You're going to have a lot of fun, and the winner will be picked out of a hat. So make sure you email me. So, Martin, you actually do training there.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
If you're learning to skydive, the one thing we can't teach you in a classroom is what it feels like to actually fly. And the wind tunnel, Body Flight, is perfect for doing that.
Do you have to do that first before you go and do a jump?
You don't have to, but we always recommend to people who want to learn to skydive, actually learn to skydive rather than doing the tandem.
Okay.
That they come with us to the tunnel and have some tunnel time, because that way, once they leave the aircraft, they're not worrying about where to put their body. They've already learned how to do it.
But isn't it like something completely, I mean, it's completely different jumping out of a plane to being in like a tunnel, because that is quite a safe environment, like to be in. You've got, you're quite safe. I'm not saying anything. It's quite a safe environment and everything.
It's
so
a
it's like
very
you're not
safe
like you're not going to
environment.
land anywhere dangerous. There's a net there.
Yeah, it's a very safe environment up
Yeah.
at the Body Flight Tunnel. But if we teach you what it's going to be like before you get on the plane, what it's going to be like and what you've got to do after you've got out of the plane, then the only bit you've got to worry about is getting out of the plane. If you already know how to fly your body, which we can teach you in the tunnel, then you're not going to be thinking about that. So all you've got to do is leave the plane.
Okay. All right. So tell me a few more interesting stories of skydiving, Martin.
Oh, what would you like to know? People
must have
doing
had
nude
loads.
skydives for their 100th. You know, 100th skydive seems, for some reason, amongst males, not females, I have no idea why, it seems to be the thing to do a nude skydive for your 100th skydive.
Well, not for charity or anything, just
No,
for
not
the
for charity,
sake of it?
just for the sake of it. And it's not a good look.
Like, I can imagine.
It really isn't.
It's very cold as well.
Seinfeld episode, shrinkage. Bikini jumps, again, guys in bikinis. Mankinis as well. I've seen that. It's not pretty. You know, I mean, we've jumped cars in Arizona. Literally rolled a car out of the back of a plane.
You've done what?
Jumped out of a plane in a car. Jumped
Have
out
you
of a
done
plane.
it yourself?
Yeah, we went to Skydive Arizona and did it. We've jumped 727 when they used to have it at Paris Valley. We've jumped out of planes.
Why would you do that? Just out of
Why not? It's there. It's like a mountain.
Okay.
Why climb a rock? Because it's there. You know? It's something
Okay.
different. Jump a balloon. That's strange.
All right. So if people, want to get involved in something like this, what do they need to do?
They just need to visit our website, which I'm sure they've seen on screen several times tonight already, so I won't bore them with it.
Yeah.
Visit our website, give us a phone call if they're
How long does the
interested.
training take? Like for
If you're doing a tandem skydive, you allow 1 day.
a whole day?
Yeah, it's a weather-dependent sport.
Okay.
So we just say allow the whole day. That way we set the expectation. If
Yeah.
people arrive at 9 a.m. and they're done by lunchtime, they're happy.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, they then get to go down the pub for lunch, and we've got some really good local pubs, trust me.
Okay. So it all gets photographed, right?
If you want it videoed, we send one of our cameramen up with watched it on the video earlier on. They're about 2 feet in front of your face, looking straight at you. All you've got to do is remember to look at them and smile.
Okay.
You'd be amazed the number of people that don't.
Now, what I didn't know, Martin, he sprung this on me in the green room, and I've been nervous since he told me. But apparently, Barbara, my darling producer, apparently booked proper
You
real
and Joe.
skydiving.
But what we haven't told Barbara
Real
yet is
skydiving.
if you go, she goes.
See, this is the thing. I'm pretty sure she's not going to do it, and this is in March, by the way. I don't know if I'm
got
going to
no
do it. I don't
choice.
know.
She would love it.
But I really don't think she would. She wouldn't do it.
If she can do the flow rider, she can jump.
Okay, all right. I'll tell her. I'll speak to her about that.
And she's got to do it for charity.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it for charity. Maybe for charity we'll do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think I'm still not convinced yet that I'm going to do it, but
You'll love it.
I'm going to see how I feel. Martin, thank you so much.
It's been an absolute
It's
pleasure.
great having you on the show. And all the best with the rest of the jumps and stuff that you're going to be doing.
I'll enjoy them.
Okay, so do join us after the break. We're going to be talking about something completely different afterwards. And actually, Excel, who's one of our co-presenters, is going to be making a very shocking revelation because we're going to be speaking about something very, very serious. So please do stay tuned until after this. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. On today's show, we've been speaking all about extreme sports, and actually, we do have a video of an interview with the guys at Body Flight, but we didn't get a chance to play it today. But that would definitely be on our YouTube channel. For more information, you can go to the Chrissy B website, chrissybshow.tv. But now we're going to speak about something completely different and something that is very, very serious. As you saw on Monday, we're going to be having a very special event on Saturday organised by the DKW TV team. Now, this is a programme that I used to be on, and they've organised a big event, which is a march, first of all, for the elimination of violence against women. And then there's going to be a big event happening at 1 o'clock on Saturday as well, where there's going to be professionals there and all sorts of things are going to be happening, and real life stories as well of people who have been through abuse, but who managed to completely turn their lives around. And it's with great pleasure that I introduce, first of all, Jennifer, who's one of the presenters on DKW. Jennifer,
Hello.
I miss you so
I
much.
miss you, Chrissy.
It's so nice to have you on this sofa on the Chrissy B Show.
Chrissy, we miss you loads,
lovely.
but we know you're doing well and you've got a brilliant show, and it's a pleasure to be on today.
And I still watch DKW well, I don't watch it on Sundays, but I watch it online when it comes out.
Oh, thank you.
Right. And I've also got Excel here. Now, you guys know Excel. She is our assistant producer, and she's also co-presenter for the Chrissy B Show. Now, she's all smiles, as you can see. Now, she is the life and soul of this place, because she calms the guests down, don't you, before they come live on air, and like she's very bubbly and everything. Now, looking at her, no one would ever guess something really awful that she went through as a child. Now, this is a shocking revelation. Have you spoken about this on TV before?
I think once. So sometime, yeah.
All right, but you're going to reveal it to our viewers now, because obviously this links in with the event that we're going to be having on Saturday. Can you tell our viewers what happened to you?
Well, I was a tender age of about 9 when basically, to sound a bit melodramatic, I had my innocence taken away from me, basically, because somebody who was quite close to the family ended up sexually abusing me. And at that time, I think the way the package was presented to me, as it were, like, you know, this is something special. This is something that people who are special to each other do, and you know, you don't let anybody else know about it because they will get jealous. And those were the words. And
So you were 9 at the time?
Yeah. And I sort of just saw it as, oh, okay, because I was very trusting, you know, towards this person. I didn't really, I mean, I didn't have any sort of need to not trust him, because I also kind of had a sheltered life. I mean, nowadays we hear kids of 3 or 4 knowing more than, you know, we knew back then. So it's my innocence. I was very naive, absolutely naive. And so I didn't see anything wrong with it. So especially when he told me, no, you know, it's because you're special. And it's because you're, you know, if you weren't special, this would not be, you know, so don't tell anybody about it because they'll be jealous. And that, you know, that's about, oh, okay then, that's fine.
So how long was this happening for? Was it just a one-off, or was it continuous?
No, it went on for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, it went on for 3 years. And like I said, at that time, I didn't even think anything about it, because I just felt, yeah, okay, you know, I honestly didn't even think anywhere about it. And I actually found out by accident. And it was when I was, what was I doing? I think it was something on TV, and I was sort of flicking through channels or something, and I think I saw a couple in the act, as it were. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, those must be, you know, that must be another, you know, group of special people, basically. And of course, my mom came in the room at that time and said, what are you watching? Change the channel, you know, silly girl, kind of thing. I thought, what's the big deal, Mom? You know, they're having a game, because he called it a game. That's another thing. He called it a game as well, a game between special people. I said, oh, what's my mother fussing over nothing? And as time went by, was when I realized that, oh, It's not quite, I mean, I think reality gradually started to dawn on me. And I think one day, literally, the scales just fell from my eyes and I felt like a complete and utter mug.
Well, I mean, come on, you were
Only
9 years
yeah.
old. How would you have known any better? Is it...
For a long time, I did not accept that I wasn't to blame. That went with me for a long time.
This is one of the reasons, Jen, that we're having this event, is because a lot of women blame themselves for what happened. They were innocent in this.
I tell you, it's really shocking the amount of people feel like, you know, the victims actually feel like they're the perpetrators themselves. They asked for it. It was their fault, you know, because maybe if they'd been more caring, or maybe if they didn't touch somebody's buttons the wrong way, or maybe if they didn't present themselves in a particular scenario, then it would have not happened. And that's not true. They are the victims. They're the ones that need the support, they need the help, and they need to understand that it's not their fault.
Who is this event for on Saturday?
Well, it's mainly aimed at women, but anybody can come along, men, women, people within the community. I wouldn't advise, you know, bringing young children to the event, because they are going to be talking about all forms of abuse, not just domestic violence, which is more, people tend to see it on the sexual and the physical side, but emotional. People forget about the emotional, the mental, psychological, even financial abuse. I mean, domestic abuse in itself is such a big subject. It's so broad. You know, it also affects the kids in these relationships, so everyone can come along.
Now, all the presenters of DKW are going to be involved in this as well as myself.
Yes.
Right, so what kind of people are expecting to come? And actually, no, tell us about some of the professionals that are going to be there.
Well, we are going to have a psychologist there. We're also going to have another professional from a local authority talking about exiting. And this is really important, because the common phrase you usually hear is, well, why doesn't she just leave? Or why doesn't so-and-so get out of the situation? But it's not as simple as that. It's really complex. There's times where if he's controlling all of your money, if he's done an emotional game on you, has got his, you know, or your family wrapped around his finger, it's not easy as, you know, just upping and leaving, sorry. So, you know, we're going to have someone there talking about exiting, how you can leave safely, and what you can do if you know someone, because perhaps it could be your next door neighbour, it could be a friend, mother, sister who's going through that. Maybe you yourself are fine, but you know someone that's going through it. Well, how do you help them? So there's going to be professionals there, and there's also going to be a support group called Rahab there, that are a group of victims that have come out of domestic abuse, and they're survivors, if I could say. And they're going to be sharing their stories and telling women how they can find support as well. So,
and it's not just for women or people that are going through abuse now. It's even like in your case, it happened to you as a child. So people that obviously carry that trauma for years, and they don't get over it, and it affects everything in their life. I mean, how did it affect you, Excel?
I think I grew up to be I had a lot of hate. I had a lot of, I think, first of all, you know, I think more seriously was self-hate, because I kept blaming myself. You know, maybe I could have done something to prevent it. Why couldn't I do something to prevent it? And a lot of that, I kept beating myself up. And now I understand that, you know, obviously it's not my fault and I had nothing to do with it, but for a long time, that self-loathing was so strong. And I also unfortunately blamed it on my mum, because even as we're talking about this now, she also went through domestic abuse.
Right.
And I also grew up seeing that. And so it was just, the whole thing was just a mixture of chaos, because I was having to watch my mum getting beaten up like a punch bag whenever my dad sort of felt like it, whenever one strand of hair wasn't in the right place. And then I had that to deal with for myself when it did come to the realization of what had happened to me. So I think all of that just made me feel like, gosh, what's the point? You know, why am I even alive? And I think I felt suicidal, but I mean, I keep saying this, but I'm glad I didn't have the actual ability to do it, because there were times I would wake up and I'll be angry that I was still alive. I had that much, you know, but I wasn't brave enough to actually do it to myself.
How did you function on a day-to-day basis?
I think
were you able to kind of push out your mind sometimes and get on with life, or was it always there in the back of your mind?
It was always there, and unfortunately, I think I took it out on my family a lot more because I kind of blame them for not having looked after me enough or not having protected me from this, you know, to have happened to me. Because I mean, I was the youngest of the family, and so it was like I felt everybody had to protect me, and so they hadn't protected me well enough, and so I fell prey to this. And so it was almost like my family kind of got the brunt of it, including my mother as well, especially my mother.
How did you behave around them?
We absolutely, I could, for example, my escapism was school. I loved to get busy. I loved to read. So I would throw myself into school. I was probably the only kid I know who hated school holidays because it meant I spent more time at home, and
that's so sad.
I couldn't bring myself to sort of engage with my family and just. I think that is the most part of it. I would say, obviously, I can't get that back, but just those years of not wanting to have anything to do with my family and just wanting to always escape, get out of the house all the time, and just not wanting to be there. Because I felt for me that they let me down. Even though nobody knew, I didn't tell anybody about it. Yeah. But I felt like, well, you should have known. For some reason, for me, it was like, you should have known. But I didn't have the guts, the ability to actually open my mouth and say it.
Now, you know, a lot of people that do go through abuse, they think that there's no way they could ever get over it, that their life is ruined, that it's always going to be a part of their life. Of course, you know, you don't forget, Jennifer, do you? You don't forget something like that. No. But on the other hand, you know, on the day as well, at the event, there are going to be people that have managed to completely turn their lives around, and you know, they are success stories. They're going to be sharing their story with you. Some of them went through awful, terrible things as well, like you did, Excel. But they're happy today, and they've managed it, and they're going to be sharing how they did it. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things that I love about the event is that we are going to have some of these victims and survivors speaking about their experience and how they came out of it. Because I think many people feel that once you're in that situation, you're trapped and you just can't get out. Especially the usual one when there's kids involved. I mean, how do you come out of a situation like that when you've got your kids there? Do you stay in the relationship just to make sure that everything's prim and proper and you don't destroy their life or the normal life supposedly that they would have? But we're going to have these survivors there talking about how they got out of their situation, also the support that they received, because many people feel isolated and lonely. And, you know, like I said before, if he's got your whole family wrapped around his finger, who do you go to? I mean, what friend will have you living in their house for a few months until you get back on your... So there's so many issues going on there, but you're going to have survivors there talking about their story, how they did it, how they got out of it, and how, hopefully not yourself, but someone else, or even if it is you, how you can get out of it too.
And I think women will be quite surprised at how much help there is out there for them. Because they think, oh, you know what, I've got immigration problems, for example. I've got these, haven't got a penny to my name. Yep. There are organisations that help with all these kind of things, and that's what's going to be available on the day. You're going to be able to speak to these people on the day as well, so you're not alone. That's you know, there is someone, you've got like help from all angles, the financial side, the holistic side, everything.
And a friend as well, you know. Some of these women that have gone through these situations, they feel like they have absolutely no one who will understand what they're going through and no one to just share their voice with. And that's why I love the title of the event is, you know, break the silence, end the violence. But that first line, break the silence. If you've been silent for all those weeks, months, years, you know, to finally have a voice and to say, you know what, I'm going through this, I need help, can you help me? That's so empowering for many people.
And just to say as well, like, you know, don't be worried about the day. You don't have to talk to anyone on the day. If you're not comfortable, if you're not ready to speak to anyone, you don't have to. But there will be like telephone numbers there, information for you to pick up. You can book an appointment for a later date. So it's not, there's no pressure at all, is there, Jennifer?
That's it. And, you know, like you said quite rightly, you're not obligated to speak to anyone. It's all about giving you the information and the tools. So should you need it, we're praying that you wouldn't, but should you need it, at least you know I can turn to this person, I can pick up the phone and call this person, or I know that so-and-so said I could possibly do this and that to help me get out of my situation. Let me try it and see if it works for me.
Yeah. Now, Excel, I know you are a genuinely bubbly person, so I know you managed to get help yourself.
Yes,
and you turned your life around. So for the women, or men even, because men get abused as well, for those people that are watching now and they say there's no life after abuse, what would they say to them? You can look in the camera if you want. She doesn't like looking in the camera, that one over there. What would you say to them?
What I would say is it doesn't matter how bad or how terrible you might feel about yourself right now. But just as Jennifer has said, there's always help out there. And there is nothing that anybody is going to blame you for if you just come out and say, this is the situation I'm in. You're not to blame. Don't be like me. I was naive. I was foolish to think that I was responsible for what had happened to me. But no, it's the person who decided to take advantage of my naivety that should be held accountable for this. Not me. I don't believe that anymore, and I never will believe that again. And I can say that to whoever is watching this now, feeling sorry for yourself or feeling you're to blame. You're not. There's help out there, so get it.
All right, thanks, Excel. So if you want to know more information about this, all the info is up on my website, chrissybshow.tv. The event is this Saturday at 1 p.m. All the details are there, chrissybshow.tv. Jennifer, thank you so much. I'm really hoping to see like loads of women there, loads of people supporting us on that day.
Definitely.
You know, it's going to be wonderful. We're going to be marching first in the morning, and then we're going to have the event straight afterwards at 1 p.m. So, you know, do come and say hello to us as well, right? If you're a regular viewer of the shows, DKW or Chrissy B Show, do come and say hello as well, because we'd love to see you there. Okay, that's it for today. Oh, we're finishing. Jennifer, it's lovely having you on the show.
It was great to be back with you again.
Might do it again soon, right?
Definitely, I loved it.
Okay, so what's Friday's show about? Little Miss Thrifty, wasn't it?
It is,
All right,
indeed.
so we're going to be talking about how to make the most of the stuff that you have already, not to overspend, and to live comfortable life, right? Okay, so that's going to be on Friday's show. So we'll see you again on that show. Bye-bye for now.